Yo, what's your favorite scary movie? That's right, Friday the 13th. We are here with a delicious crew of horror movie fans to chat about the Scream movie franchise. And that's right, I found Jasmin. I won't make that joke again. She's back.
Surprise!
Uh,
This is a ghost face reveal. I should have had a mask.
do you know what? I thought about this earlier today about having a mask, and went on Amazon, but it was going to come tomorrow. I was like, "Fuck's sake!" I
Yeah.
should have thought about that earlier in the week.
You got to get
Unfortunately,
on it, Mark. Come on,
no,
man.
no, yeah, no, I don't have a ghost face. I don't have a ghost face to wear. Got a hood. So that's about it. No, I thought about it earlier this morning, and I thought, no, sorry, not this morning. I thought about it last night, and I wondered whether or not Amazon Prime could get me it. But I'm assuming there's no ghost face in the local warehouse. So
Not this time of year.
this time of year, no, probably in October they probably have loads.
Yeah.
Right, okay, returning from last week. We've got the guy who lives 2 hours away from me.
How we doing, guys? Nice to see you guys again.
Welcome back, Tom. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back,
Thank you.
Tom.
No, I've been looking forward to this one.
Tom, what is your favorite scary movie?
How long you got?
Just pick one.
Pick one. Yeah. No, I think we're gonna go old school. Go Halloween. I love John
Halloween.
Carpenter's Halloween. Yeah.
And joining us from slightly further away, but nearer to Jasmin, from Queens, is Big Herm.
Jason, what's going on?
Welcome back, Herm.
Welcome back, Herm.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Yes, it's been a long time.
It has been a while, yeah, man. What's your favorite scary movie?
Man, I have two because I'm from the 80s, so I know I cheat a little bit, but Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, like those are my key movies, so still my number ones. Like they always go neck and neck. That's why they had a movie with them facing each other. You know what I mean? I was in Cloud Nine when that happened. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So those are my favorites. And then, of course, the franchise we're doing was pretty cool here, the Scream franchise. So I'm pretty excited about that. You know, I guess they're the '90s version of those
Yeah.
kind of movies with a little comedy in them. You know, a lot of references. I forget. We watching these movies, I forgot about all those references. I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah. This is they were love letters to those films.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Actually, I didn't ask you, Jasmin. What is your favorite scary movie?
Ooh, I'm going to buck the trend. My favorite scary movie is Event Horizon. So a space movie is my favorite scary movie.
Yeah. What's that?
I thought you were gonna say My Life, like one of the movies. I think the cop says it to Sydney, and then Sydney's like, "Mine too."
Ask me in 6 months, Herm. Ask me in 6 months.
What's that? I always forget that film with Ben something, the sci-fi spaceship horror.
Pandora.
Oh, Pandorum, I think it's called. Pandorum. Yeah, that was a horrific film.
I remember you mentioned that one.
Yeah,
I added that to the watch list.
That scared the crap out of me. That genuinely. But no, my favorite is probably this franchise. To be honest, you know, I for a long time had no interest in horror. That was something I was too afraid to go near horror. Even the Resident Evil games, I've only been able to play number 2 from start to finish.
No, thank you.
Some of those games, do you know,
they're brutal.
Yeah, do you know, even the first one back in number 1, back in the 90s, the first one, I just couldn't stand the loading screens. You know how the door slowly opens and you just don't know once the loading screen's finished if you're going to get attacked by a bunch of dogs. And I just couldn't do number 1 in the end. I was like, nah, these loading screens are killing me. I just want to know when I turn the corner. I don't want to have to keep waiting every 30 seconds to find out, 30 seconds of loading to find out.
It's the way that they do the sound in those games, though, because like I remember playing Dead Space, and I played Dead Space with my headphones on, and like 10 minutes into the game, I was like, nope, we're done with that. That's that.
I mean, that's why The Last of Us Part 2 just takes me so long. I play it fine when it's all the human bad guys. I don't mind running around killing all them. But when it's all the the creatures, all the zombie-like creatures, and I've got to sneak around and all the rest of it, and then my nerves are going. And
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's how they get you.
I'm
With the
gonna play
jump
this.
scares.
I'm going to play this in the day. I'm not going to play this.
Exactly. You can only play it during the day. Like you can't play it at night. The sun
That's
starts
no
to go
fun.
down. I gotta switch to another game.
Or if I'm playing it in the day, my wife's in the kitchen hearing me go, "Fuck's sake!" For about 5 times running. So, anyway, right, we're going to move into Geek of the Week. Hold on a second. Here we go. Geek of the Week, for anyone new to listening or watching, is something that we have done on our own this week that we've enjoyed, whether that be something live, some music, TV show, a video game, etc., etc. So I tell you what, Herm, as you're guesting this week, what's something that you've done this week that you've enjoyed?
Well, I saw all 7 of these movies, so it wasn't much for me to do this week, except for I did listen to your podcast last week. Oh, I got to do that, and I saw you guys saw the 2 trailers up in there.
Oh yeah.
And now that you got we saw all these movies, even my wife was like, "Are you gonna see the scary movie franchise now?" I'm like, babe, we could do that. We could do that. You know?
we could do a scary movie show. That has crossed my mind. I'll be honest. So
I know Jasmin said she wasn't too fond of the scary movie ones, and but for whatever reason, that time in my life with all those references all over those movies, and I probably watch them now and don't remember half the references. But at that time, I was like, ooh. And then it just made it funnier. So if you're a part of that time, you will enjoy them. But if you're not, like any new person that don't know anything about that at that time, they're not going to get it.
Mhm.
But that's
Maybe the new one.
Yeah, because they take all the genres. It's not just horror movies. Like because in the new trailer, you could see the reference to Everything Everywhere All at Once, where they start fighting with the dildos, which they did in that movie. That was just like, what's that?
Oh, that was
Actually,
funny.
Move that.
So yeah,
actually, this was better. That's fine, mate. No, what you're saying is your Geek of the Week was our last week's show. That's your Geek of the
pretty
Week.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, we'll take
well
it.
done, guys. Well done. I enjoyed it.
That's good.
Because every time you ask me if I heard one of your podcasts, a lot of times I haven't, because I kind of want to pay full attention to you guys. Like a lot of time I put podcasts when I'm like back and boarding or doing something in the room, so I don't get to hear half of what people are saying. Like I miss it. But it was something I don't care, whatever.
This is on YouTube. Well, this is on YouTube
guys,
now. I was gonna say it's on YouTube now and on our audio as well. So you can kind of pick and choose what you. What did you listen or watch it on? Out of curiosity.
Me?
Yeah.
I watched it. Believe it or not, I watched it. I was driving to work.
Oh, on YouTube. on YouTube.
So I had it on YouTube. Yeah,
Okay,
YouTube, because it's just it plays really well here. So driving to work, I got to see. I was paying attention to the driving, but I got to see some of the trailer in the little window. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I went home and rewatched the trailers and stuff. But yeah.
Herm is a man of many talents, because he lives up there where they had that snowmageddon. So you'd be driving through listening to podcasts on YouTube. That's some talent right there, Herm.
Well, I appreciate your Geek of the Week. Okay, Tom, what's your Geek of the Week?
Well, similar to Herm, I did spend most of the week watching Scream movies, but every week I do get in the comic books. So I just wanted to point out probably my favorite book of the week was Transformers issue 30.
Nice.
Robert Kirkman, who wrote Invincible and The Walking Dead, among many other things. He's recently just jumped on the book, and Dan Moore has been doing the art, which he has spectacular art. He's been killing a lot of different things right now. So it's been a really exciting time for the book, and that was issue 30. So of course, 30th issue, they dropped some bombs in there and some big twists and turns there. So
Nice.
I had a fun time with it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the new Mars book that's coming out as well.
Yes.
I
love that they're expanded on the Energon universe. Like, I'll take more.
I'm quite behind on all of those, but I've carried on buying them. I intend to go back and carry on, but I know that Kirkman took over from issue 25.
Yeah, it's been decent. It's been really really solid so far.
And Dan Mora's Superman's been brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Jasmin, what was your geek of the week?
I've been continuing watching cult documentaries. And so I watched this documentary called The Vow about like this self-help cult that started in LA, kind of did a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, guy got convicted. The head of this organization got convicted, is now presently serving a 120-year prison sentence. So it's just fascinating stuff. I'm obsessed with trying to figure out what it is that these kinds of things like suck people in. Like how do we get here? Is like every time I pull up a documentary, I'm like, how did we get here? Like, how does someone listen to something that to me sounds very outrageous? And the people are just like, yeah, this is perfect. This is great. This is exactly what I want. So that is always fascinating. So like every time I have lunch, I just put an episode on. Whenever I'm having dinner, I put an episode on. So I think I watched like 12 episodes this week, but yeah, that was a crazy story. And I just got to the finale today to find out that he was convicted in 2021, serving a 120-year prison sentence.
Wow.
Well, that's dedication, because
That is,
if
yeah.
I'm watching episodes, I'm gonna want to watch all of them right there. So the fact that you were able to do that, that's hard, man. Good job.
I realized I made a mistake. I used the wrong thing, but anyway, I flicked it to Geek of the Week now. Right, okay, my Geek of the Week. I found it on Tuesday evening. Was it Tuesday evening? No, I found it on Wednesday evening. The first episode of Young Sherlock from Guy Ritchie on Amazon Prime. Man, this show is good. I've just finished episode 5 as of this evening before we start recording. And if we weren't doing this, I'd finish that show tonight. It's an 8-episode season. It's set in Oxford. Sherlock Holmes is 19. We meet a lot of people in there that we're used to. Lestrade, his brother. We do meet his parents, who I'm not as familiar with. But this show is very much, it makes me think of Smallville. It's very much the foundations of his relationship with James Moriarty. And it's such a delicious relationship. The chemistry between both of the actors it's just so good. They completely play off each other. Everything about it. I just want to see more of them together. And I kind of don't want it to end. I know that eventually the rivalry will happen, but I'm in no rush for that rivalry to happen. I don't want them to fall out. Seeing their bond is great. I'd completely recommend it. It's just so good. It's in really good hands. And one thing as well, I would add, I did check, it's not meant to be a prequel to the Robert Downey Jr. films. Guy Ritchie said it's a completely separate thing. He's like, this is a different Sherlock on a different Earth, so to speak. It's a completely different thing. I thought it might be a build up to his movies, but I guess he didn't want to be tied by things that he'd done, I don't know, 15 years ago. So, yeah. But yeah, it's really good. So far, it's probably one of the best things I've watched this year of TV shows. So
I have it on my list, so I haven't started it yet. So I will. Maybe I'll take a break from the Colts and we'll go
just the dialogue and everything is just so well done. It's just everything.
I think that's the best part of every Guy Ritchie film, though, is the dialogue. It's so punchy.
Everything, just how it all flows together, and then you just get these sort of quiet moments, and it's cool how he's working things out, and he'll go back in his mind, and it's almost like he steps back into previous memories. And I think I've seen him do this before, but it's everything about it's just so beautifully done. I really recommend this. It's a great show. Right, now I will flick into geek news, which I'd accidentally put the wrong thing up for. No trailers this week because we're going to have a big episode in a minute, but I just thought I'd shout out a couple of things, so which I thought was cool to shout out. Hold on a second, I lost my notes. Right, okay. Billie Eilish is going to make her acting debut. The pop star is in talks to be an adaptation of Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar, which will be directed by Sarah Polley.
Fun fact, though, about Billie Eilish, her mom, for all of you video game fans, her mom is the voice of Samara from Mass Effect.
Not franchise as I'm familiar with, like yourself.
You should get on it. You bought the games. I know you did.
I know I did at Christmas. I bought it at Christmas. I did buy it at Christmas. Right, okay. Kate Winslet will join Lord of the Rings. She has been cast as the female lead in Andy Serkis's up-and-coming Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum.
Does that mean she's going to wear the hairy feet? Is she going to be a hobbit?
I don't know.
I can't imagine who else is going to be chasing Gollum.
I don't think we need any. I don't think we need any more Lord of the Rings films. But okay.
I was going to say, how do we feel about a new Lord of the Rings? Are we up for it or?
No, it's fine. But I'll watch it. But you know,
yeah.
Okay, Quentin Tarantino makes his West End debut. Tarantino has announced that his first play, The Popinjay Cavalier, which is going to be a swashbuckling comedy, is going to debut in London's West End next year. So that's going to be cool. Right, some DCU news. Aaron Pierre has officially joined the cast of James Gunn's DC Universe as a hero in the next Superman project. I have no idea what he's going to be playing.
So is Lantern not part of the James Gunn universe?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, like, he's just going to be reprising his role as Jon Stewart. Like, why do they have to announce it so weird?
Yeah, I know.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Right, okay. All right. Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz it's all confirmed now. They will be returning in The Mummy 4, which is going to be in the summer of 2028.
Nice.
I remember reading about this, that it's meant to be like a follow-on from, I think they're going to ignore some of the ones in the middle. I don't know which ones they're going to ignore, but there we go. I'm glad that Rachel's back, though. I'm glad that she's back. Right, okay. That is it for Geek News. I'm not going to, like I say, I know most of these episodes I bring up some sort of trailer, but we're now going to jump into our main event. And what goes without saying, there's going to be spoilers going forward. We're going to talk about all 7 Scream films. And if you haven't seen number 7, which came out a couple of weeks ago, we are going to talk about it. We will talk about who the killers are. We will talk about our opinions on those movies. So it's up to you if you choose to go forward. But judging by the volume of revenue it made in week 1, I think everybody that wanted to see it probably saw it in the first week, considering it plummeted about 80% in week 2. Right. So with that, your spoiler warning is over. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to just shout out some knowledge about the franchise. Right, okay. Some people may or may not know this, but the horror franchise was influenced by several real-life events. The first is the Gainesville Ripper. So screenwriter Kevin Williamson, he was watching the new special about somebody called Danny Rowling, who is known as the Gainesville Ripper. He, in August 1990, in Gainesville, Florida, over the course of 4 days, murdered 5 students. I'm not going to go into the details of that, but surely if you want to go and look it up and read about all the horrible details, you're more than welcome. But he also had another event which wasn't so horrible. He was in a house and somebody left a window open, and one of his friends rang him whilst he's in the same house, and they had a sort of a jokey, creepy conversation. And the two things together kind of merged into one, which set up his thoughts for the first Scream film, which I thought that was quite interesting. I didn't know for a long time that it was based off real events. Okay, so just some stats before we go any further. The first Scream movie was released in December 20th, 1990, and the sequel came out the following year in 97. Scream 3 came out in 2000. Then they had a huge gap of 10 years for Scream 4, which came out in 2011. And then another gap of 10 years for Scream 5, which came out in 2022. Did really well, so it came out the following year in 2023. We'll talk about the controversies of why the next one didn't happen a little bit later. Scream 7 obviously came out February 27th this year. The combined budget of all 7 films was $223 million, and it made so far it's made over $1 billion, which is pretty cool.
Damn, no wonder they keep making them.
Yeah, definitely. So it's projected, by the way, that Scream 7 will make more than any of the others. It's projected it will make over 200 million.
That's wild. There is only one reason that is true, and spoiler alert, that reason is Matthew Lillard.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, right, across all 7 movies and 3 television series, there has been a total of 116 deaths. That's
Wow.
75 in the movie and 41 in the TV shows. And so we're not going to talk about the TV shows in this episode, but just so you know, there was a TV show and season 1 came out on MTV in June 2015, lasted 10 episodes. The following
Was it
year.
Scream Queens?
So no, it's Scream, the Scream TV series.
I don't remember that at all.
And then there's season 2 came out on MTV May 2016, which had 13 episodes plus Halloween special. And then what they decided to do was reboot the TV show a couple of years later with a season 3 called Season 3 Resurrection. And it was a completely new cast. So season 1 and 2 had the same cast. Season 3 had a completely different cast. I remember that I watched seasons 1 and 2 and it was very much like a CW show. But season 3 I hadn't got around to watching, but it was hyped up as like an event show where they said the cast won't return regardless. So it kind of, you didn't know who'd make it out, so to speak. So right across the TV, the total killers across the TV were 5 throughout the 3 seasons. And the total movie killers so far have been 15, with Sydney killing at least 5 of these. Okay. Right. Okay. That is it for stats. I thought it was cool just to run through some info. Right, before we go round robin in regards to the overall franchise, Scream 7 came out 2 weeks ago. Thought it'd be cool just to. We're not going to do a massive in-depth review here. Just kind of run around the room in terms of what our overall thoughts are on the movie, and just give it a quick rating out of 5. Just a couple of minutes each. And if you want to shout out any thoughts on AI, you're more than welcome. Just before we go further, though, I did think this was pretty cool. It's the first time the franchise creator, Kevin Williamson, has directed a Scream movie. So.
I did not realize that. I mean, I guess I always realized like Wes Craven did the first few, but
yeah,
first time for Kevin Williamson. Good for him.
It's a shame it was the first one for him, but yeah, right. Okay. Rather than me picking, would anyone like to go first?
I thought everybody said really bad things about this movie, and I did not dislike it as much as it seems like most other people disliked it. I really liked the nostalgia of Scream 7. Like, I have always loved the idea that maybe Stu wasn't dead, and I think that's something we've talked about in some other episodes where we mentioned Scream. But like, I didn't hate it. Like everybody else was like, "Oh, it's so bad. It's terrible. It's the worst of the franchise." And I was like, I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it. I did think that the killers left something to be desired, but otherwise, I really enjoyed the callbacks that we got. Like, and as far as like the AI bit, like on the one hand, like that's what they're pushing in the movie, but like they got all these people to come back, so it was really cool to see all of the previous killers, most of the previous killers, I should say, kind of pop on, even if it was just for a couple of seconds. So I don't know, man. I like the nostalgia of Scream 7, so that's just me.
What would you rate it out of 5?
Probably 2.75. Not quite a 3, but like not awful.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Herm, what do you think?
I agree. I enjoyed it. I was just like you said, it was a lot of bad reviews on it. Like, but I didn't want to see the reviews. I just wanted to go see it, see what is, what's the fuss is about. And you said, Mark, you said it was successful, and I'm like, I heard the other way around. I heard it wasn't. So I was just like, oh wow, okay, it did good. I'm happy it did.
Financially, it's doing really well.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think people. Oh, okay. So yeah, because I think people don't realize this is not Marvel or DC trying to go for billions. This is a horror film. You know what I mean? If it's making that much, it did very well. I like I didn't like the Killers was probably the worst one in the franchise. Like I kind of got I guess spoiler, right? The girl, the neighbor. I kind of got her. I was like, I figured her out. Like eventually, like I was like, nah, she's weird. You know what I mean? But the fact that there was 3 killers, 3 of them, that surprised me a little bit. And then one of them was random, and you saw him in the coffee shop. and they made you think, oh, he's weird. You know what I mean? I felt like a lot of these movies, that's what they do. They try to like steer you another direction. I thought they did a good job with this one too, because they make you think, oh, was it really her boyfriend? You know, because he had the the Mac in the car. He was trying to. He was like, no, I was trying to see if it really could happen, and he really was. He really was. So I just thought that, it's hard to keep making these movies and try to steer you another way because everybody's seen it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they modernized it very well with the AI stuff. Like, I mean, it's very well, because we look at me watching them all. I think Tom, you probably could say the same thing. Watching them all, like, you could see the progression and the different times as you see the movies. And then, of course, the earlier ones, they were a little closer, but the ones that were further away, you can see and you start remembering that time. So
Yeah,
I guess on the
100%.
rewatch, yeah.
I mean,
I guess
as
on
a
the
franchise, sorry to cut you off there. As a
no, go ahead.
franchise, though, they do a really good job of capturing those eras. They're almost you can almost timestamp them. You come back, and even with the musical cues, and yeah, it's all very relevant to its time.
And it kind of takes itself serious, but it doesn't. And that's the comedy part of it and all the references. If you get it, good. And if you don't need to learn the references neither to enjoy the movie, I thought a lot of this generation now will probably get a lot of stuff they were talking about in there anyway. And there's probably stuff in that movie that I didn't even know. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. I thought I missed, after watching 5 and 6, I missed Jenna and her sister, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I kind of got attached to them. And I understand why those movies did good too, because a lot of people were talking about when the fifth one came out. Oh, they're coming to one of the Scream movie, and those 5 and 6 did really well. Like it was everywhere. Like people were hyped about it. So um, good. I think the negative from this, it's like it's the negative era right now. Everything's negative. Like it starts with every sports, wrestling, whatever you do. It's like everything's the end of the world kind of thing. It's either the end of the world or it's the greatest thing of all times. You know what I mean? I was like, it's okay if it's in the middle. I mean, you could be in the middle. You know what I mean? So
100%.
yeah,
Tell him, Herb.
I
Tell
don't.
him. Middle of the road is okay too.
Yes, and you can enjoy it, man. Just enjoy. You know what I mean? Stop worrying about what that guy said, what her said. Like, it's like, just enjoy your stuff, man. And I enjoyed the movie. I was like, oh, wow. By the way, I was in the theater, in that room, all by myself.
Oh,
My
wow.
wife couldn't go. She had to work. Originally I was supposed to go with my wife, but I didn't feel good that day. I think I might have told you this, Mark. And and then I ended up watching it yesterday by myself, and every time there was like a jump scare, I was like, and I looked around like, I hope Ghostface ain't around here. You know what I'm saying? First time ever by myself, I was a little scared. I was like, maybe this is not the movie I should be watching right now in this room. So, thumbs up for me with this movie.
So what would you rate it out of 5?
You guys know I'm more softer and more happy-go-lucky with the reviews and all that. So I give it a 3.5 because I enjoyed it. It's
right.
good franchise and all stuff like that. It's not great,
Hmm.
but it was good enough. If you enjoy this franchise, it's a good addition to the franchise. I enjoyed it, and a good modern addition too.
Mhm. Tom, what's your summary and what would you rate it out of 5 for just number 7?
Yeah, I always go into these movies wanting to love them. I always go in optimistic, and yeah, for the majority of the case, I did really enjoy this. I really enjoyed the dynamic between Sydney and her daughter. I thought that was kind of a fresh take, and some of the story twists with her daughter as well. I enjoyed. There was some good kills as well. I feel like Scream gets increasingly brutal as it goes through the franchise. But yeah, I think we've touched upon it already, but it's the third act that for me really let the film down from being a proper solid movie. I think it got messy at the end, and the killer reveals were lackluster compared to other sequels and stuff like that. So yeah, I was really rooting for Kevin Williamson as well. He's been on the franchise a long time. But yeah, I mean, there's enough there for me to be like, I'll rewatch it again. Like, there's a certain movie which I won't mention in this franchise that I really don't like that much, and probably won't. And I don't think it's as bad as that. So I don't think it's the worst in the franchise or anything like that. Yeah, like we were just talking about, middle of the road. It's okay. But
And
yeah,
they also,
okay.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I forgot to mention the Airbnb, the killer house
Mm,
being an Airbnb. Like what?
Oh,
What?
yes.
And then they burnt it down. I'm like, no, I can't go visit it now, man.
It's interesting because obviously the opening scenes for these movies are always, or always try to be iconic. And I thought this one was like you said, decent because you were in that
Mhm.
specific house. But at the same time, I felt like it was just never mentioned again. Like the fact that it was Stu Macker's house and he burnt it down as well. So I was like, I don't know. I thought it might come up again, but yeah, I enjoyed it.
well, that opening scene was used as a way of getting Courtney Cox's character to show up. She's like, "Oh, once I saw that on the news, I knew I had to head to you."
Yeah,
That was the
Mhm.
only real
yeah, 100%.
story thing that was used there. But anyway, what would you rate it, Tom?
I think I would give it maybe a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a huge I'm a huge Scream fan. I couldn't see the first two in the cinema, but I could see the third. So I saw the third in the cinema. I didn't see the fourth, not sure why, but I watched all the others in the cinema. I watched number 3 twice in the cinema. So I went in with I don't know, man. I'd already started to hear not good things, which I was ignoring. I went in optimistic, and there was a lot of build up for Stu's return, and I think years ago I watched one of the producers of 24, and it was for season 2. And this has stuck with me. He said to me, he said in one of the documentary things, when you tell the audience something's going to happen, it's then got to happen. It doesn't mean that it has to happen the way the audience thinks it will happen, but when you build something up. So it was in season 2 of 24, it was a nuclear bomb. So the nuclear bomb was going to go off one way or the other. It did go off, but it went off out at sea. And that stuck with me. And I've noticed that most things, when you watch them, when there's a setup, it will happen. Now, obviously, it never happens the way you think you're gonna happen. And there was such a build-up of Stu Macker's return, and that's what I think most of the diehard Scream franchise fans were looking for, was Stu's return. Now, I think in terms of the legacy between mother and daughter, Tatum and Sydney, I thought that was great. I thought that Tatum's friendship group was completely poor, no character development. I didn't care about a single one of them. I was not interested. They were completely flat. I felt the best parts about Scream 5 and 6 were obviously Chad and Mindy, who were reduced to something like less than 10% screen time. They were real background. I think Mindy is a fantastic new addition to the Scream franchise. They really did not utilize her. In fact, she got cut off when she went to start talking about the rules. I love hearing about the rules. Every time we have one of these movies, I want to hear the rules thing when they all rant about what the rules are. I felt like Courtney Cox was completely wasted. I think she was in this movie for, I think I looked it up, something like less than 12% of the movie. Which also is ridiculous. The killer reveal, the third act, was so poor. It was the most poorest of all 7 that I have watched. And in fact, the actress, Anna Camp, who plays Jessica, I saw her being interviewed about this. Even she hated her reveal. She said, I just had to pull what I could from this. She said, I created my own backstory in my head to try and be creative in that and sell that she's the killer. I'll be honest with you, it's my least favorite of all 7 movies. That's how I feel about it. I walked out of there really disappointed. My friend who I went with turned to me and went, "This is like a Netflix film," which is not a good compliment. So I give it a 2 out of 5. This is how I feel about it. So yeah.
I mean, you could have rated it worse, so that's not horrible.
Oh, initially I was very close to a 1, but I stepped back and I was like, do you know what? There's parts I enjoyed. There is bits I enjoyed. I think the best parts were between Sydney and her daughter. That's got to be the best bits, really. I think the kill scene in the bar is pretty good, but they basically wiped out her entire friendship group within one scene. It's crazy. So I don't know what's going. If they make a sequel, she's got to make some new friends.
If they make a sequel, they need to freaking move to like Europe or Australia or some freaking place that is not anywhere near Woodsboro.
Well, right, okay. Anyway, our talking points here. Well, I've got some talking points that we're going to go through. Okay, so go around the room. What I'd love to hear is, rather than ranking or 1 to 7, what was your favourite of the 7, and what's your least favourite? Jasmin, I'll start with you. What was your favourite, and what's your least favourite?
Well, least favorite is 4. I mean, I like Kirby, but Kirby's the only thing I like about 4. I didn't like that Jill was Sydney's cousin, and I just didn't like that storyline at all. I found the kids really annoying in that one. I think, though, for me, they just like, I don't know, when I was young and the first film came out, like those characters were relatable to my age, whereas like by the time I watched 4, like I could not relate to those kids anymore. Like I had no way to feel connected to those characters. So for me, 4 is the one that is just my least favorite, aside from Kirby. And of course, the best is the first one. How could it not be? It gave new life to the slasher franchise. Without Scream, we don't have I Know What You Did Last Summer. We certainly wouldn't have Scary Movie or 15 of them. I feel like without the first Scream, we wouldn't have this genre having the comeback that it did.
100%. Okay, Herm, what about you? What's your favorite and what's your least favorite?
Oh man, like it's funny you told me about this, and I'm still like undecisive. But my favorite, man, I kind of like all of them straight up. But if I had to pick a favorite, um, I did like the second one. I remember when I was younger, I enjoyed the second one a lot because there was a lot of celebrities in there and all that. And I was mad that they killed my girl Buffy. I'm like, she can fight. She can kick his ass. Come on. But it wasn't Buffy. You know what I mean?
She was sober sister.
Yeah. yeah. And he just stabbed her and threw her out the window like she was nothing. I'm like, damn it.
She signed up for that without. She signed up for that without even reading the script. Sarah Michelle Gellar was like, I just said yes. Didn't even read the script.
Because Scream was really cool, and when a cool slasher movie, celebrities they're gonna die. Like, oh, let's go, let's do this. They all hyped up about it, So, that was my the first one is the best one. I agree with Jasmine. So, but my favorite was 2 because of that, and my least favorite, which is weird. At the time when I watched them, the third one was my least favorite. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the director. Maybe the retcon of the director was the reason why. What's his name? The Killer Loomis. Killer.
Right.
He drove him. He gave him the idea, and then the whole thing with the mom and stuff like that. That was interesting because she had like a haunted past and stuff like that. Those 2 years, those missing 2 years, nobody knew about. I thought it was a little creative, but I had to pick my least favorite, so that was the one. It was the only one with the one killer. You know what I mean? Go figure. But yeah, if I had to pick one, it's that one. But
3 is my second favorite.
I've got a lot of love for 3.
It's okay.
Right, Tom.
Yeah, I love that they continued the storyline with Sid's mom, and then they gave her a half brother. That's really. I hate Parker Posey like that. She's the worst part of 3. But like everything else, like I really think that they gave us the most story to sit with in the third film. So yeah, third one's my second favorite. That's hilarious, Herm.
I did not enjoy Parker Posey in anything at all. However, there was one scene. There was a bit of Courtney Cox and Parker Posey together that I kind of enjoyed, which is weird because I can't stand Parker Posey. But right, okay, Tom, go on.
I mean, since we're showing Scream 3 some love, I do want to also add that I have got a soft spot for that movie as well. I love like the Hollywood vibes of that movie and like the like they go onto the sets of Woodsboro and shit like that. And yeah, I thought that was awesome. But no, I agreeing with Jasmine. Number one is such a a masterpiece within the genre. I think Wes Craven was at a point where he had all the experience he needed. Different classics in different decades, and I think it was just a perfect time for someone like him to bring the genre back. And that opening with Drew Barrymore, I mean, that's up there with some of the classic horror scenes in horror cinema. And I mean, you could literally do a whole show based on that movie. There's so much to break down on what that did for how it pinpointed society at that time and what it obviously did for the genre. So that's a special movie. And like Herm said earlier, some of the references in those early movies, especially the first 2 or 3, especially as a horror fan, it's just like you're hearing things all over the place. It's just it's awesome, absolutely amazing,
beautiful.
Worst one for me, I watched it tonight. I watched Scream 5 and Scream 6 tonight, and I just can't stick with Scream 6, man. I struggle with Scream 6. I don't know if it's the New York thing. I don't know.
Hey. I'm from New York. Watch yourself, buddy. I thought I liked you.
Hey, I just saw, does Tom realize where he's going with this conversation?
No, I just think you're just so used to Woodsboro, and it's just they pluck you right out of there.
Do you know what, man? This is what I loved about Scream 6. I loved the setting. I loved that it was in New York. I loved that it went bigger.
It's different.
Yeah, I'm close to Tom on that one. 6 is my second least favorite, of the franchise.
Well, that's another Scream 6, another one where, similar to Scream 7, I thought the third act was a bit all over the place, and the killer reveals once again not that great as well. I didn't love it. It didn't stick with me. More of a Jason Takes Manhattan guy, personally. Just to shout out New York, just to get my New York guys back on board.
Tom is trying to save it. He's trying to save it.
But no.
You're saved. They're saved. I'll take that.
Okay, look, my favorite is actually Scream 3. I think Scream 3. So I had only recently found out that Stu was meant to return and be the killer of Scream 3. But something happened in real life. I don't know what it was. There was some murder or something, and they decided to retcon that and make Roman the killer of Scream 3. I think that was actually really cool. I think having the half brother, having every murder scene had a picture of Sydney's mum, but from when she was in her Hollywood days. I thought this was one of the most well put together in terms of building up to the killer and having the investigation, Gale Weathers and the fake Gale Weathers teaming up to try and find who the killer was. And then eventually we get the reveal that Roman, and they showed a video earlier on with Randy saying, trilogies will always reveal something that you didn't know from the get-go. And this was cool that Roman said that he orchestrated Billy and Stu. He went to see his mother. His mother didn't want to know, and he finds out that he's got a sister. I thought, what a flipping great reveal at the end, to find that there's almost like a puppet master of the events of Scream 1. Whilst Billy and Stu still get all this recognition, actually, it was Roman that played the puppeteer, so to speak. And not to say that Billy and Stu would have gone crazy. The fact that they went along with it clearly so easily, I'm sure something down the road would have made them go a bit nuts. But Stu obviously did it because of peer pressure, but Billy probably didn't need to be easily led. But I just thought it was just such a cool reveal. I loved it all. But my least favorite, look, I just hate number 7. I really do. It's really the worst one. I'm a bit like Herm. I actually enjoy a lot of them all equally. Some will be my favorite more than others. It depends when I'm watching them. And I know Jasmine threw number 4 under the
but I do like Kirby. I still like Kirby.
Oh yeah.
Like 4.
I actually liked the twist of Jill. I thought that was a cool twist. It was not what I expected. I thought this was I thought this was the reboot franchise, and I thought that Jill was before I knew she was the killer, I thought Jill was becoming the sort of the new central character, and that's how the film had very much shaped her until the twist. Anyway, right, okay.
I
That's
thought
my
the
least
twist
favorite.
worked.
Oh yeah,
I
I
thought
think
that
it
twist
worked. Yeah.
worked.
Yeah, I think that twist worked.
And that's my second favorite Scream movie. How about that?
I love how we're all a little bit different in like
No, it's
our
good. It's good.
list.
It's good.
That's really cool.
I was going to
Mhm.
ask Herm. You just recently watched them as well. I mean, it's a question for everyone really. Did everyone notice with Scream 4 as well? I don't know if it was just because of I think it was a period of time where they were using like new types of digital cameras, but it's like got a really like bright hue to it. It's got a weird tone to the whole film. Like I don't know how it was definitely if you like, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 just stands out like a.
Yeah.
There's something
agree.
about it, the way it was shot, or the lighting, or the saturation, or the
I guess it was
contrast.
10 years. Technology changed and budgets have changed. What I've noticed is the more films become newer, they seem to want to spend less money on them. So I don't know if that had some effect. But
The
I
actors
do
are more
think 4
expensive to
sticks
get.
out too. Like it does not seem to fit into the rest of the franchise like everything
It's
else
true.
does. Like everything else still kind of slots in, still has the same vibe, but I don't know. 4 just to me feels way out of place. Even when you go all the way to 5 and you get a whole new cast of characters, then it's like I can kind of rock with this. Like maybe we can make this happen, but I don't know. I just didn't feel it.
I'll tell you what. As we're talking about number 4, look, I was going to save this for a bit later. Let's talk about number 4. So number 4 had some test audiences, and I've talked about this before with Jasmin. They have like an additional act at the end of number 4, where number 4 feels like it's ended with everyone going off in ambulances. Is Sydney alive? Is she not alive? You know, everyone's been kind of attacked. Jill's been rescued. They're talking about there's everyone's around, cast and crew. You know, there's newscat people talking about how Jill's, the survivor, etc. And then there's this like additional act which feels tacked on, but actually it was tacked on because they did us test audiences. They hated how it ended, so they did this hospital scene where Jill is actually ends up getting killed by Sydney, and that's the end of her movie. But there was plans for an additional 2 movies where Jill was going to be the star, and then she was going to get attacked by ghost faces in her 2 follow-ons of people that had figured out that she was the killer from the previous. I think that sounds like a really cool idea to have had a Jill trilogy. I think that's something we really missed out on. I would love to have seen a Jill trilogy where the killer actually got away with it and becomes the star of the next 2. I think that would have been a really cool thing to have seen. I don't know what you guys think.
I think you're the only one.
Oh, I think it would have been amazing. Well, Tom Herm?
She's like I don't know. To me, she's one of the weakest characters in the entire franchise.
I think it's more of an Emma Roberts thing for me. I don't know if that sounds harsh, but not a big fan of Emma Roberts too much. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know with that one.
Maybe if it had been a different actress, I don't know. Maybe if people didn't get into Emma Roberts, but
I was fine with Emma Roberts though. I was fine with. I thought she did fine. You know what I mean? I don't know if I wanted to see her for 2 more movies, but
I just thought the idea.
No one else did either, Herm. Don't worry.
No, I just thought the idea of the killer getting away with it and then her being followed, I thought was a cool idea. But anyway.
No, I think the only time we can have the killer get away with it is if the killer is actually Sydney. If Sydney is wearing the ghost face mask and she is going around killing people, then we can allow her to get away with it. But like anybody else, no.
Maybe in the Jillverse, maybe they'll have a Jillverse, and you have your version of that. You should pitch it. You know what I mean? Maybe you get some money. You know, that sounds like a decent idea. You know?
Right. Okay. Let's talk about Ghostface reveals. Throughout all of the movies, there's been some really cool reveals, and then there's been some absolutely awful reveals. Some of them have got better motives than others. Some of them just want to be famous. Some of them did it for peer pressure. I think, when you look at some of them did it for revenge. But right, okay. So what was people's kind of favorites and worsts? Herm, I tell you what, you go first.
Yeah. My favorite reveal. That's good. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite reveal. I mean, the worst is number 7. That was the worst one out of. Even though I enjoyed the movie, like when I kind of knew it was her, you know, but the guy, I guess he was in the
Yeah.
like
hospital.
the like the warden or whatever from the.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, that told.
he was just like an orderly.
By the way, he
Yeah,
had
yeah.
That's
5
so
minutes. He
random.
had 5 minutes of screen time in the film, or
That's
five.
mad.
So
But
Yeah,
as
yeah.
soon as
So
Ethan Embry came on the screen, you had to be in the audience being like, he's a killer. Like, why
yeah,
else
oh
would you
yeah,
put Ethan Embry in this movie if he's not the killer? Like,
yeah. The moment he got introduced in the
I didn't know he was
the
a killer.
yeah. Oh,
I was like,
straight away I was like, he's the killer. Well, actually,
well, I didn't know that the neighbor, like, I had ruled her out, especially when her
I
son
like
got
from the
killed. I was
beginning.
like, oh, well, it can't be the neighbor. Like, she wouldn't kill her
Yeah.
own son. Apparently she would.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, as soon as Ethan Embry popped up on screen, I was like, oh, great. Like, there you go. There's your killer right there.
To be honest, okay, so Scream 7 is my worst reveal. The motivations are so thin on the ground. So the fact that she is annoyed, they referenced Scream 6. I was annoyed that you weren't in the New York ones. What about your book? Your book changed my life. So that's why
Your book helped me kill my husband. What the fuck kind of like moment is that?
And my son, you know, my son was weak as well. So, and then, but the moment they introduced Ethan Embry in the hospital or whatever, that was the moment I knew Stu wasn't coming back. The moment because I'd held out hope, and the moment he showed up, I was like, oh yeah, that's John. I thought he's a liar. So, however, I am hoping that actually there was some truth in that if they do a Scream 8 and actually he was in the hospital. But
well, they left an opening because they could not find the paperwork in the morgue. So they left that sliver of an opening there to say, we don't know what happened to Stu's body.
Okay. Yeah, no, what I hoped was when Scream ended that there was some sort of like pan out of the camera and we just see like somebody looking or something, but they didn't even give us that. So right. Okay, so
Herman, if I had to pick, my favorite one is the original one, the Stu and
the Billy
Loomis. That's probably the best one. You know what I mean? Even though you knew
Billy said like your slut mother was fucking my father and that's why my mom left. And I remember being in the theater like, what do you mean? Because like to me, slasher films are really just kind of stupid, where it's like, let's just kill people. And then for them to have an actual motive that went back that far, I was like, damn, that's a really, really good like way to get your audience to have a little bit of that empathy for the killer. Like to be like, I can see it. I can see why you are as psychotic as you are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tom, what about your favorite or worst reveal and also motives if you want to think about that too?
Yeah, I think I mean, I don't think anyone can argue. I think the worst one, I think, is 7. Like, I don't think we can get away from it.
I think, are we all on the same page here? 7 is the worst then?
It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be.
Well, to me, 4 was also really bad. I was just like, her cousin, really? Come on. But yeah, no, 7 for sure. Because it was just...
There's some jealous cousins out there.
It's just two random people.
I was literally looking at my partner like, who even are these people?
Yeah,
because it's usually like I think even in Scream 5, I think Dewey says, the killer's always someone related to your past.
Mm-hmm.
So you're, like you said, you're expecting someone, Stu Manford, someone, and when it was those two, I was just baffled. To be fair, I was like, all right. No, I mean the best reveal. Scream 2 and Scream 3, I think. I love the fact every time I go back to Scream 2, I forget that Timothy Oliphant's in it, let alone one of the killers, and it's that always blows me away. But I think number 3 has got obviously got that emotional connection there, isn't it, with the half brother sibling thing, and they have a good little battle at the end as well after the reveal, because I don't know if that's the only one where he demasks and then they have a little scrap, or she didn't get to just shoot him in the head straight away. But either way, the one with Roman I think might actually be my favorite, just because there's story build up, and like you said, it ties the trilogy in nicely, because at the time it was supposed to be a trilogy. But yeah, I like the Roman one, I do. And I thought it was cool, only briefly obviously, but it was nice to see Roman in Scream 7 as well.
Yeah I'm glad that they didn't forget about that. But Jasmin, what about you?
No, just one. It's the best. So it was so good because like it just I don't know like I was not expecting it. I wasn't expecting a deep reason, like we're so used to like the Jason and the Freddy movies where it's just like an available human that needs to not be alive. Like let me just go stab this random guy. Whereas here it was like I've been planning this for a long time. Like that, I don't know, like that was just so
strategic.
different for the time.
One of the things I liked about number one was that the seeds were sowed, with the mother, Cotton Weary. I love the fact that we have Cotton Weary in just a news article, a news video, like just little clips. And I thought this is cool that they show him as well. And there's this build up. Obviously, the murder of her mother, that Gail Weathers was involved in sort of, and she keeps defending him, she says, "Oh, you're not so sure now, are you, Sydney?" And then eventually we get the big reveal that actually Billy was the one who killed her mother. Was it a year or two previous to the film? So, and we've got actually this decent backstory. But I agree with Jasmin. The reveal there is one of the best ones. My favorite reveal is Roman, though. I love the fact that he is the orchestrator and ties up and wraps up a nice trilogy. I think his is the best reveal, but obviously the best motivated as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. Actually, something I hadn't thought to ask everybody was about opening scenes. Across all 7 movies, we have an opening murder scene, and number one is undoubtedly one of the best in terms of how it's not done quickly. It takes its time. It's really subtle. We have cameras outside that sort of pan out, and you can hear the sounds of kind of nature and the swing just moving, and you've got the popcorn and just all the attention to detail. One of the things I found out recently about the opening scene of Scream 1 was that Scream was very close to being cancelled by the studio, and they deliberately edited that opening scene with Drew Barrymore and had to run it down to the head of the studio and show them that opening scene. And they were like, "All right, okay, actually, this looks pretty cool. We'll allow you to carry on making the movie." And I just thought it was such a really cool choice to kill off such a big actress straight away. And all because Drew Barrymore was initially meant to be the Sydney character, but she's like, "Actually, I want to be involved, but I can't do the whole film. Actually, why don't you guys just kill me off in the opening scene?" I love that was sort of Drew's idea to be killed off. That was, and then she's on the front cover of the film, so no one's thinking she's killed off. Yeah, that is one of the best opening scenes.
I don't mean to cut you off, but that was the most iconic swerve in movie history.
Yeah,
like everybody thought she was the main actress in this in this whole thing, and I wish I was in the theater. I didn't get to see. Fun fact: the 7th one was the only one I saw in the theater.
Oh wow!
All the other, for whatever reason, I didn't have a horror movie partner. You know what I mean? So, like I did yesterday, going alone kind of sucked, and then I was all alone. So, younger, I would have really been scared.
We'll go and see a horror film together one day.
I would love that, but yeah, that was so. I didn't know about the reveal. I didn't know. I thought being a fan of the 80s
the way that they
movies,
cut that trailer, nobody knew. Nobody knew that Drew Barrymore was not going to be in this movie. She was
social media wasn't around.
So
yeah, social media wasn't around, so I didn't even hear this word of mouth. You know what I mean? So I'm here watching it, by myself at night. Because I'm brave. I don't know why, but I shouldn't have. And then I saw that scene, and then people were sleeping because I was living with people. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" Really loud, and I'm looking around like, "Oh, I hope I didn't wake nobody up," because that was like an iconic. Drew Barrymore got iced in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, blew my mind. You know.
Oh, yeah, no, just quickly. So Scream 2 cinema opening, that was cool because obviously we've starting to get the ties of Hollywood, right?
Now that one is the one that freaks me out the most. I think one is the best, but 2 freaks me out the most because I was like, this is why I don't go to the movie theater on Halloween. Like all of these crazy people wearing masks and costumes and all that stuff. No,
yeah. I don't think I could do that in the cinema full of ghost faces. Right, Scream 3 opening though. This is what I'm building up to. That is my favorite opening, and that was obviously a big twist for the Scream franchise because this was a main character, and to kill a main character off in the opening scene. And what's cool is the meta of that opening scene. He's on the phone to his agent in the thing, and he's talking about Stab 3, how he's meant to get only going to be in like one scene, and he's like, I'm cotton weary. I only, I should be in more than one scene. He's like, this is my life. He's like, this is my life. Blah blah blah. And then he's only in one scene in Scream 3. I thought that's so cool, and I love the dynamic of him and Ghostface. And at the end, when he does get killed, I love the fact that Ghostface says it was a simple game, Cotton. And that I just thought, what a flipping great beginning. I did not expect. I was a huge Cotton Weary fan, and for Cotton Weary to just get offed straight away, I was like, no, I did not see that coming. Scream 4 opening though was pretty cool. How it was a kill within a kill, like a movie within a movie, and that it was an odd one, but it was it was very different. And then Scream 5, was it Scream? Not Scream 5, Scream 6. I want to jump ahead to a little bit here. That I thought was a cool one, where we had a reveal of one Ghostface who then gets offed by another Ghostface. That was cool. So, but yeah, obviously we've talked about number 7 in Stu's house, but yeah, okay. Tom, do you have a favorite opening scene?
Ooh, favorite. I think I think I might actually go with the second one. I think it is actually quite iconic, and I think they covered it in one of the Scary Movies as well. Am I right in saying that? Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Jada Pinkett Smith. I think that's a great opening, and especially I could imagine. Obviously, I didn't watch Scream 2 in the cinema, but I could imagine if you were watching. Imagine you were her alone in the cinema watching Scream 2. Yeah, so I could see that being pretty cool as well. And the Jenna Ortega one was quite cool as well, because it was almost like a homage to the Drew Barrymore one. But it's hard to top that Drew Barrymore one as well. Got to put that out there. But yeah, I think I'll go with that. I'll go with number 2.
Jasmin, did we ask you? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's still 1.
Yeah, okay. And then yeah. Okay, cool. Right. There's legacy characters in these franchises, and I think everyone's got a favorite legacy character. Jasmin already knows my legacy character. So when I say legacy, I'm talking about across all 7 films. So these are people. I think for me, legacy is also about being in more than one now. So I know we've got Courtney Cox, obviously her Gale Weathers and Sidney Prescott. I know those are obviously legacy characters, but then there's some people that have come along the way that I also feel strongly about. I'm going to go first. My legacy character is Kirby. She's one of my favorites of the whole franchise. I think she stole number 4, and when she came back in number 6, I was so pumped. I was like, yes. I really hoped, because you never knew when she left number 4 whether she survived or not. She sort of it was very left open, and then when she came back in number 6, I thought it was cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and the interaction she has with everybody is just brilliant. There's that sequence in number 4 where she literally lists every flipping horror movie, and I was like, what an amazing actress that is. Because I said this to my wife earlier. We were watching Lamb Man, and I've forgotten the name of the guy now. It's the star of Lamb Man, but he's
Thornton.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and there's a dialogue scene he's got at a bar where he's talking about the price of oil and all this different stuff. And I even said to my wife, what a skill it is to be an actor when you've got to remember that level of detail, but also about an industry that you probably don't even know that much about, and you're having to talk about the price of like barrels and oil and all the rest of it. And I was like, that is a decent skill. And to come back to Kirby, to list off something like 25 horror movies and that phone call, I thought was just brilliant. So, but yeah, I'm a huge Kirby fan. Right? Okay, Tom, any favorite legacy characters in this film franchise?
Man, growing up as a horror fan, I got to shout out Randy.
Yeah,
like he was just us. He was our voice in the movie,
Yeah.
telling everyone the rules. So I love Randy, and I always love that scene in Scream where he's led on the sofa, just nonchalantly watching Halloween, and you can hear John Carpenter's score, and the killer's right behind him. I think they got a delay on the camera in the van. Oh, it's just classic stuff. So yeah, I love Randy. I was I was gutted when they got him in Scream 2, man.
I
You
know,
got
I
you got to
know.
think about the legacy of Randy as well. The fact that we've got his cousins, and the fact that we had a
Course.
videotape in number 3, and
No,
Yeah.
they're nieces and nephew. The niece
sorry,
and
nieces
nephew.
and nephews. Sorry, nieces and nephews. Yeah. But Herman, you got a favorite legacy character?
Oh man. So in the beginning, it was always Dewey. Dewey was my favorite. I was
Oh
David
yeah.
Arquette, man. He was my boy. You had the wrestling movie and all that, and to always him getting stabbed and hopefully he survives. You know what I'm saying? And then he got in number 5. I started crying. You know, nah, not really, but and then they got my boy. Come on. You
That
know
was
what
a
I mean?
beast, man.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he's always been my favorite character because he's always protecting everybody, no matter what,
Mhm.
even if he didn't want to. Even if Gail Weathers pissed him off, you know what I mean? He still tried to protect her and stuff like that. I still don't know. I thought she died in number 6 and she came back in 7, so I was just like, okay. But I think they brought her back mostly because of the whole controversy with Jenna and all that. But
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. But he was my favorite legacy character. And then if I had to pick a modern one, I did like Sam, with the 5 and 6, and then
Mhm.
bring her back because the whole controversy with her too. But I thought she did really well being the new Sydney.
Sydney,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like with the anger and all that, and the being scared. But it was pretty cool. So, but Dewey and then her. Like if I had to pick from the new franchise. So.
Jasmine.
I think Hollywood did Sam so dirty just because she
Oh
stood
yeah.
up and spoke for Palestine. So I think it's bullshit because I think
Oh
that
yeah.
the 5 was
Mhm.
her character at the very least. 5 was good, 6 was good, and I was like, I could let her pass the
Mhm.
torch. Like I could see her being this next generation of Scream characters. So I think it sucks that Hollywood blackballed her. Um, but my legacy is definitely Stu. I have always been a Stu fan. And it has always been one of those things that you just kind of throw around with your friends where it's like, but what if like
Mhm.
Billy got shot in the head, but like a TV fell on Stu's head. So like, I mean, maybe he just passed out. Like maybe he's not dead. Like it was always plausible that he could have, maybe I don't know. But also like I am a huge Matthew Lillard fan,
Hmm.
so that's part of the reason why Stu
Mhm.
has always been a favorite of mine.
I think you've actually set up something that I wanted to talk about. I saw something earlier today about the Stu thing. You know, the first phone call he makes on the video call. Somebody was doing this whole the AI thing. They were like they reckon that first call was actually really Stu, but all
I
the
have
other
seen that.
yeah you've seen this as well,
Yeah.
and but all the other stuff was AI Stu. And I just sort of put it out there. Who still thinks? Well, so who thinks it's possible that Stu survived number 1? You don't think
I thought he
so?
was done.
You think he's done? You know, so you think
I
he's
thought he
done?
was done. I
Okay.
thought he was done.
So for anyone
I mean, I
listening,
could be wrong, but
me, Jasmine, Tom, we're all on Team Stu being alive. Okay, so would you?
Possible. Not. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying it is possible
Okay,
because as Sydney keeps reiterating as we go through these films, you got to shoot him in the head, and nobody
yeah,
shot Stu in the head.
yeah. He's the only one who didn't get shot in the
Very
head.
good point.
Do you think that was a deliberate choice back then? I don't think it was. I think it was just that's what happened. But I think as
No,
time's
I
gone
think
on,
back then when they were making this first movie, I don't think that they had any idea that these movies were going to land the way that they did. I think they were throwing stuff and seeing what sticks to the wall, and they got really lucky with that first one, which to me is why the second one feels really rushed because they were like, "Oh shit, it's popular! Like people like this. Like we got to hurry up and use this momentum and make another one." So like to me, there's a big dip between 1 and 2, but then they kind of bring it back for 3. So I don't think they were expecting the popularity that they got. So I don't think that they originally had any intention on bringing Stu back. But again, with all the fan service that they have been doing in these films, and the fan service is super obvious in 7 because like they mentioned the sixth thing, the New York thing,
yeah,
way too much.
Mhm.
Like I feel like the New York plot got 20 minutes of film time in 7. And at one point I was like, we get it. She wasn't in 6. Like, move on. We get it.
Yeah.
So, like,
Well,
I think
even in number
now
6,
they
even
think
in the
that Stu is a possibility, but way back then, no, I don't think they thought of
well,
that.
even in number 6, when they find like the Scream kind of music or the Ghostface museum, there's a TV there, and they're like, oh, and they have a little joke, you know, do you think it's possible he survived, etc. I feel like there's this constant tease to the audience. And I have read that Scream 7 did have a test audience that got edited after the audience, and a lot of people joke going, did they not show it to actual Scream fans? Because there's a rumor that Stu did genuinely return in this film, and that the test audience didn't like it, which seems bizarre to me. Did they find people that didn't like the Scream franchise? Because I think true fans would have loved to have seen Stu actually come back. But I am hoping that there is some planning with this, and hopefully he does come back. I think it's possible that he's alive, because, like you say, he didn't get shot in the head, but also they do keep teasing it throughout the franchise. So I would hope that eventually there's a payoff to this. But
I mean, they made a good job of making you believe he was in this
yeah,
movie. Like there was a couple
yeah,
times like maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
but
Um,
if they want to make money, they will bring him back because he's a great character, man. He was
Yeah.
awesome. Just seeing him back on the big screen, you know, back doing his thing on there with that character, it was awesome.
I
So
would love to have seen
I'm open
something.
for it.
I was
Yeah.
hoping that there was like some sort of mid-credits thing where it went back and showed that Stu was in the hospital, and that it sets up an 8th one. But I don't know.
But maybe they were testing it like the other movies to
Mhm.
see if they still like Scream. Maybe they'll make an 8. So you guys might be right. You guys
Mhm.
might be onto something. He might return. You know what I mean? Like they retcon number 3. Why not this one? You know what I mean? Everybody like number 3, whatever.
Look, I haven't really talked about it, but Sam and Tara, we've not really. I mean, Jasmin talked about it briefly. I loved 5 and 6. I thought that Sam was this generation's final girl. I thought it was
Hmm.
cool, the dynamic, the differences. I enjoyed the handovers between Sydney and Sam in number 5. I thought that Sam did a really good job of carrying number 6. And from what I'd heard is that the build up to this was meant to be a final trilogy with Sam, where she eventually becomes Ghostface and gives into the fact that she is the daughter of a serial killer. I do love that she even references that in number 5, going, I've got my own thing, the daughter of a serial killer. And I was hoping that we'd get that, but Hollywood definitely did her dirty. There was nothing wrong with her having an opinion, and it shouldn't be that you get set. Look, unless your opinion is, I think people should get killed, you know, that wasn't what she was saying. And there was nothing wrong with the stance she took. I completely disagree that she got fired from this. And I would,
But I do applaud Jenna taking a stance with her.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Uh-huh.
well, if she's not going to be in it, I'm not doing it.
All I've wondered is behind the scenes if obviously the actors that play Minnie and Chad, whether they don't get on with each other, because they didn't take the same stand. They came back for number 7, and I saw them being interviewed on one of the press release things, and they said, "Oh yeah, we're still supporting them. We're watching their content." I wonder how that's going, but I guess we'll find out one day. I hope that something changes down the road and Jenna and Sam do come back, but
That'd be cool.
I just don't see it happening. But you know,
It's like it reminded me of the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, when you know he had the voice. It was his own voice, but with Sam, it was her dad,
yeah.
you know, talking. You know what I mean? And then eventually the son, Harry Osborn, in those movies, end up seeing his dad, the evil one. So it reminded me of that. So that probably was gonna happen with her actually being one of the killers in a future movie. So I would have loved to see that. But
And she's a lot more
took it away from us.
She's a lot more brutal than Sydney. She would quite happily enjoy stabbing people up.
I mean, Sydney like took a screwdriver to that chick. So like, I think at this point, Sydney is an expert too.
Oh yeah, Sydney is an expert now. Yeah, but it took a few years before Sydney started to become the kind of tough final girl
Sydney
we have
was a
now.
17-year-old virgin when this all started, Mark. She had never had any reason to like doubt her parents or anything before.
But Sam was pretty kick-ass from the moment we meet her.
Oh yeah,
There's a difference.
Sam has seen some shit. Okay.
Also, when in the sixth movie when they have the little shrine and stuff like that, and she sees her dad's suit, and she puts her hand over like to touch it, and Tara, what you doing? She walks away.
Yeah.
Like you kind of see her like admiring her dad a little bit
Yeah.
on there. It's like,
Well,
well, do like this kind of thing, you know?
I was watching I watched Scream 5 earlier, and I forgot how you know, at the end scene when she's on top of is it Jack Quaid?
Mhm.
I mean, she is really like
Oh,
wailing
yeah,
on him. Like it is,
Just keeps going.
that was definitely Billy Lewis' daughter, man. She was going in.
Final cut. So
Yeah.
Listen, you got to be sure, okay? You have to be sure. One is not enough.
Yeah.
Because like that's another thing. Like if we're just like joking around, I would love for somebody to have in the 8th movie like a podcast about all of these Scream survivors. Because like, how many fucking times did Mindy get stabbed in 5? And then she got stabbed in this one again, and I'm just like, you have been stabbed, I think like 11 times, and you're still up and kicking. Like, and also like the husband, Mark, would not be alive. Like, you don't get stabbed that many times in your chest and then still be like, oh, that's cool, don't worry, I got enough strength in my hands to cut the tape off of your legs. Like, get out of here. That man would have been dead a long time ago.
The Scream franchise loves to do that, and I think Dewey had that a few times, and I mean, Chad and Mindy.
Oh, Chad and Mindy have got cut up in pretty much every film. Yeah,
every film.
So there's one thing we haven't talked about at all. We haven't addressed it before we start to wrap this up. Is the Stab franchise, a franchise within a franchise? We briefly talked about number 4, how number 4 opened with like number 5 and then number 6 or something like that. I think Jasmin has made a comment when I was getting ready for this, was that it is very Hollywood. Hollywood do this in real life, and they would, think about how we had September 11th. We got 2 films from that. There was the Boston bombings. We got a movie of that. If this is genuinely kept happening to somebody, of course they would make a bloody Scream franchise off the back of it.
100%,
but I read something today as well. It's really weird that somebody had written online an idea for a Scream 8 opening, and this is an absolutely brilliant idea. It opens to showing the back of what looks like Dewey walking down the hospital, seeing whatever, starts to get cut up, and actually turns to the camera, and it's what's his name, David thingy from Friends, who obviously played Dewey in the first one. Yeah, Schumacher. Yeah, and then it suddenly pans out and it's on set, and I thought that would be a really cool opening. And when I read that, I was like, actually, that would be a pretty cool start to Scream 8. Show him, showing that reference that they're still carrying on with the Stab franchise. So
Schwimmer would never. He's
Schwimmer,
not.
Yeah, Schwimmer. Yeah, David Schwimmer. That's it. Yeah, I think he would do it. I think he would come and do it because he's never been in
making any kind of reference to like Friends.
No, it wouldn't be Friends though, would it? It would be, obviously he'd be himself being in the Stab, because we've never seen him in the Scream franchise. They just said he was in it.
Yeah. You see it in one of the showings on the phone. You'll see his name when they show the cast and stuff like that in one of the movies. It was pretty cool.
But that, I thought,
bring back Tori Spelling too. How to kill her off for good. You know what I mean? For real, and in the movie,
But I did think, when I read that, I thought that's actually pretty cool. I think. But yeah, just quickly, any thoughts on the Stab franchise?
Who if we take Stu off the table, who would be the killer in 8 if we get an 8? Like, how do we tie 8 back? Like, we've already had Billy and his mom. We've already had a half brother. We've already had a dad and siblings taking revenge for their dead sibling. Like, what else have we got?
I did, to be honest, linking it back to Stab would be pretty cool. Having it become, I wouldn't want Parker Posey back. Well, no, she's dead actually, isn't it? She got killed.
They all died.
Yeah, they all died. Yeah, I suppose so. Having it linked back to Stab would be pretty cool. But do you know what would be good if they brought Sam back and made her the killer?
what if they brought Sydney's dad back and like he went nuts and he was
Yeah,
the killer that they tried to make him be in the first one?
because they brought him back in number 3 for a cameo. So as far as I'm aware, he's not dead.
I still think Sydney being like the final Ghostface is the way to go.
I was just about to say, I'm surprised they haven't gone down that avenue already. So it's it's still there. I thought actually Nev Campbell was really good in Scream 7 as well. So I reckon she could knock out a decent Ghostface performance as well.
I think they should bring back Sam, make Sam to be the killer to finish off her journey.
Well, we know you need two, like, so it
I
could be
just don't
Sam
see-
and
Yeah.
Sydney.
I just
That
don't
was crazy.
Sydney and the daughter. Yeah, Sydney and the daughter. Why not?
Yeah, Tatum didn't have any friends anymore, so why not?
Who's Tatum going to kill? There's no I suppose so. No, I wouldn't want it to be Sam and Sydney. That would just be so bizarre to have them both team up. Like, what would they have done before the film? Called each
No,
other
I
up.
don't think they should team up. I think if we get a Scream 8, we should have a Ghostface everywhere. Like, I want like a copycat killer theme going on. So it's like we got people in San Francisco, we got people in Woodsboro, we got people in New York. Like, I want Ghostface to be everywhere all at once.
But who's the mastermind? There's got to be a mastermind, though.
Sydney,
all those people.
because she's sick of this
Sydney?
shit. She wants,
actually,
to kill the whole franchise once and for all.
Okay, actually, I had an idea the other day. I was chatting to someone saying the only two, because if you know how they all get shot in the head, other than Stu, the only person I would allow from the shooting in the head to still be alive would be Roman. He worked in Hollywood, special effects. How do we know those guns were just blanks? And he'd set it up that he could get away with it. Maybe he set something up to blow up on his head or blood bags on his whatever. How cool would it be if Roman came back?
Bah.
And those are the only two that I think could come back, Roman and Stu.
No, I'd be up for it. I'd be down for that. I'd say that all day.
No, I'm sticking with Sydney. Sydney's doing it. She wants to kill it once and for all. Because what other way to ruin a franchise than to oversaturate the market? If we got a Ghostface in every city, then who fucking cares at that point, right?
Yeah.
Just bring the whole cast of Stab. There you go. The whole cast of Stab got pissed off because they were jealous, and just bring them all. They were all.
I think David Schwimmer should be the killer. I think they should make David Schwimmer the killer. I think seriously that would be amazing to have to open. I want that idea I saw earlier online that David
Tired
Schwimmer
to make fun of me.
Yeah. Even if he referenced his character Ross, I'm fed up of this, and actually have David Schwimmer in real, like in the film, be David Schwimmer and turn into a killer, saying I'm fed up of people talking about Friends,
Yeah. And we were on a break, all right?
Right. Anyway, look, we've been going a while. And is anyone sort of final thoughts on the franchise?
Yeah.
What's not to love? I mean, it's my favorite.
I want number 8.
The new age horror kind of stuff for sure.
I'll still watch number 8. It has actually made me think. You know what? I will go and watch Scream season 3 now. Not tonight, but it's meant to be an event season, like 6 episodes. It's meant to be really tight, and people are like seasons 1 to 2 of the Scream TV show was just like a CW show. Like no one was really getting killed off. But Scream 3 was meant to be, you didn't know who would survive and who wouldn't. So I do have something Scream left to watch. So that would be cool to finish. But
I've never seen those, so it'd be weird. What the seasons are about. Like, do they do the killing slowly? Like, they'll kill one person this episode, another person that episode.
It's just this. I can't remember now. It was a while ago I saw the first 2 seasons, but it's just a lot more drawn out, and but right, okay. We're going to finish there. We're going to finish on this note. We essentially we're all huge fans of the Scream franchise. Not all of us massively love number 7, but we're here for 8 regardless. And strangely enough, whilst number 7 isn't doing very well in the reviews financially, it's actually going to be the best performing one out of all of them,
making some
That's all that
good
matters.
money.
So yeah, they're all going to be in the studio thinking we can't let Sydney Prescott go anywhere. So she's not going to be the killer for some time, I can assure you. Right, next episode, which will be next week, we are changing gears and we're going to be talking about an anime called Your Name, which came out in 2016. We are also on social media. We're everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, X, etc., etc. Herm, where can they find you online? You've
Big
gone.
Herm Collectibles on the YouTube, and whenever I decide to return, it's supposed to be the spring, but we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I have like this show I'm working on, my mic drop show that I did a couple of episodes of, and it's just me talking about sports, wrestling, comics, how I do not want that I do not like Scream 3 reveals. So, stuff like that. I'll go on there and speak a piece of my mind and then drop my mic and stuff like that. I'm working on that. I'm hoping um to finally work on that. I'm waiting to finish my man cave, but we had a couple of big storms the last couple of months. And between that and work and shoveling snow again, and then there was snowing yesterday, and we were like, no, don't stick snow. Don't stick. You know what I mean? Hopefully I can get back to what I'm trying to do and get that show going. It should be on a Tuesday, around 7 p.m. East, sometime in the next 3 or 4 months, hopefully. That's all I'm doing right now. And then hopefully I return here later in the year.
Oh yeah, no worries. You can come back whenever you want, man. Like, let me know. Tom, you're on Instagram. Do you want to quickly shout out where you're at?
Yeah, you can find me on Horror Flicks and Comic Talk. Yeah, give me a follow. Let's talk horror and comics. Always up for it. But enjoyed the show. Was looking forward to chatting about Scream. Had a good time with you all, and look forward to next week.
Heck yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Well, look, you can if you're listening to the podcast on any of your favorite platforms, please remember to give us a 5-star review. If you're on YouTube, obviously like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And just everyone, thanks for listening. And if you are listening back, drop in the comments what your favorite Scream movie is. And if you want to throw in what your favorite scary movie is, we'd love to hear about it. So, all right, we'll let you go. And thanks for listening and watching.
Good journey.